Yeah, I did talk about a project that I was involved, like trying to get going, and I'll talk about it again because we got a bunch of people in for a raid. But so I had the idea to make a plugin where it would interface with our UI, and it would use AI in order to read text that the NPCs say, right? So if you talk to any of these, right, the plugin would read this text in an AI voice. AI voices now, you can do like 38 million different types of voices, right? So you could just program it in. Stone Giant's going to sound like, this, right? And have it coded, and then it would read it off. So when you click on it, it would read that off. The problem is that the game doesn't have this text anywhere in the actual, like, where I could export it to actually use it. So what would have to happen is that each of the lines of text would have to be hand copied, which just would be ridiculous size and scope. I thought it would be really cool because this is such an old game, and those AI voices sound really good now, that it might help, if somebody wanted to use the plugin. But it became very clear to me after talking with people involved with the actual, the game, that it's not anything that exists that could be utilized in a realistic way. So it would all have to be made by hand, written by hand, and then kept in like a third-party app database. And then so if in game, if they ever changed anything, the database would need to be updated. That's not so out of the ordinary if you consider DDO builder. That's essentially what they do. They basically take like all the character class progression stuff and they put it into their third-party program, and then you interface with it and you can build your character and then export a build and let somebody read it. But it doesn't actually interface with the UI. The idea that I had was that you would interface with the UI as a plugin, and then it doesn't really change your gameplay at all, but basically would just read the text for you. So you could just turn it on, and it would just, as soon as you click on this dude in the database, Draznok, he's coded in to have a specific storm giant voice, and this text is read to you. And then when you answer, I will speak with Hasward, because I'm an Eladrin, right, female, my response would also be read as an Eladrin female using whatever the AI voice we picked, and we had that all gridded out. But the size of the project, because none of this stuff is available, like there's no text file I can get from the game that has this. I'd have to make it by hand. And so while as ambitious as I am, I don't have that kind of time, right? Like, even if I got like 20 volunteers, I still don't think it would be worth the time. Because think about all the different lines of text, like this counts as one too, right? It is massive. And then also interfacing the app, like with the UI, in order to be coded for each. Like, I would need the unique identifier for each of these NPCs. So Raxul, we'd have to code Raxul. So when you click on Raxul, it would say, it would read this text to you. But it became a behemoth project to even think about. So the reason I'm talking about it now is because it's probably not actually going to happen. So unfortunately, but it was something that I really wanted to make happen, but it's just impractical. So unless something miraculous happens, right? You never know. If you throw enough money at something, anything can happen. So, if somebody came to me with like $1 million and said, make it happen. Yeah, we would probably make it happen then. But short of that, I don't think it's going to happen. I have an elixir of discovery I got in a gold roll. They gave me my weekly gold roll, and I think it's a lesser elixir of discovery. And if anybody out there has never used one or you're wondering about them, they like increase the chance I actually think they should have given them to us in that VIP box that we just got to open. But if you don't know what they are, and we can use it and go see if we can actually pull something out of the salt marsh, because the salt marsh has a lot of cool stuff in it. Okay, there it is. So I have a lesser and a greater. The lesser is the one that I just won. I think I got the greater a while ago. I'll do the lesser right now. So we do that. Now I have an hour where chances of getting named loot from chests that ordinarily contain named loot is enhanced by 5%. So if we go out here, we should be able to pull the artifacts that drop out here and also the other named items like the gloves of the Tinkerer, for example, or one of the named items that drop from out here. And then also we should have a higher likelihood to pull those XP gems for the sentient weapons. What is that debuff? Am I stupid now? Yeah, brain fog, -4 charisma and wisdom. That's great. Yep, and it's working. -4. And so we tested, I think it was last week, we tested surfing on lava. And I can confirm for you guys that you cannot surf on lava. There is some that you can surf on, but real actual lava will burn your feet and you'll fall off the mount immediately. So, but you can still surf over water. So flying carpet is pretty cool for that. So this would be a chest that would qualify for the Elixir of Discovery. There's also like a really rare item that can drop out here. Aside from the fact that we could also get a cleansing tome, we could also get a nebula fragment. But my experience is that stuff is just super, super rare. So, like, while I've pulled 3 nebula fragments in my DDO career, I've never once pulled a cleansing tome. Never. I've not seen one. I don't know if anybody's pulling them. If anybody has recently pulled one, I have no idea. But I haven't. So I did see a couple of them on the GTN or the auction house, so I would imagine that people are pulling them, but I don't know where, like what level quest, if it even matters. My understanding is it doesn't matter, that it's any chest, right? So this would be one. We did not get anything. Looks like the alligator is up. It was a horror movie that was made, I think it was in the 1970s. And I think it was the end of the 70s, and it was supposed to be like Jaws, but it was a giant crocodile. And it shows up at like a pool party and starts eating everybody. I saw like clips of it from YouTube. I've never actually seen the whole movie, but I thought it was super funny. A lot of those old horror movies were really, really weird. Didn't get anything. We got a rare filigree, so, which I'm happy to pass on. Like if I pulled something out of these and anybody on Sarlona needs it, just let me know and I'll mail it to you. So happy to help if I can. I have all the filigrees that I could ever need. I'm actually waiting for them to implement something that we can do with our filigree overload, because I have bags filled with thousands of filigrees, I think, at this point. And I would love to trade them in for something else that I'm going to use. Like, they had talked about implementing a system where we could trade in filigrees for other things. I don't know exactly what, maybe like specific filigrees that we were looking for, or maybe filigree upgrades. I don't know, but I've been saving all the filigrees that I loot except for ones that I give away, um, just on the chance that they implement a system where we can sell them and upgrade to something else. Okay, the beetle is not here. We're gonna lightning storm these rats and see how the damage is. Yeah, it's alright. So this dude goes crazy from having one... There's a lot of mobs there. He has one mysterious remnant, and he goes like batshit insane. And I have, I don't know, what, like 100,000 of them? Like, does that mean that my character is completely deranged now? Like, this dude is nuts because he has one. I mean, that was mostly damage from my carrion swarm. I think it's still worth taking it. Oh, lunar magic spell resist. I do use those. That's good. I got a star fragment. That's good. You can use the star fragments to upgrade gear. It's all good. But remember, we're under the influence of an elixir of discovery, so we're hoping that we see more loot than normal, right? Keep in mind, too, I also have on a moderate treasure hunter elixir, which does nothing for named gear, but... Alright, the shambling mound is nowhere to be seen. The cat, the displacer beast is not here. The manticore is here, though. Points to an arcane storm. Alright, I did get a named item. I got a Skull of the Sea. And that's it. But still, that's good. We can feed that. Oh, for those of you who weren't here earlier, we did something else too. I just got a wild magic surge that put Otto's irresistible dance on me. I tried using wonder potions, because in the old rule book where wild magic was explained for the first time, any wondrous item or anything that did like a wand of wonder or potion of wonder, anybody who could do wild magic had an ability to sort of like more likely to control the outcome of the item. I think it was like 50% more likely to control the output of an item as a wild magic person versus like a non. So I used a bunch of wonder potions to see if I could influence the ability, you know, influence the effects, and it didn't matter at all. Like, so they didn't implement that into the game. So they did a lot of it, but that particular part of it they didn't implement, which is too bad, because we get a lot of potions of wonder. And I can tell you just from testing, if you're on the hardcore league or doing a hardcore anything, I would not drink Potion of Wonder. Because I accidentally pulled like a couple of things that probably would have killed me if I were on hardcore. One of them was I summoned those blades from Shavarath that you can't target, and they just they DPS you, and they were hitting me for like 150 damage a tick. So it's like no joke. So if I were on hardcore and I only had 200 hit points, I would have to run like crazy to get away from that thing, because I wouldn't want to accidentally die just because I drank a wonder potion. But being a wild mage doesn't matter at all, like for those, so. This year we didn't get anything, although I did get a Siberi's, exceptional Siberi's shard. That's pretty cool. Okay, the mystery box is not here. Is the sea lion here, hopefully? Yes, sea lion's here. So did Zippy give me haste? Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so actually when we were reading that list earlier about the wild magic, and one of the old school was that you get a haste effect on you, and I said, hey, I haven't seen haste. It actually is there, but they call it Zippy. So that's cool. It's good to know. All right, so we got, yeah, we did. We got one of those sentient gem things. And like I said, man, like, if you're on Sarlona and you need one of these, just let me know. Send me a mail in-game and I'll mail this to you if you need it, because I have all the sentient XP that I could ever need. All my weapons are done, you know, so I'm happy to help somebody else if you need it. But we didn't get a named item, so our elixir of discovery, so far we have gotten, what, one? I think one item. We got that shield. So... Harley, hey, you don't have to be a level to use it. You just have to have access to a sentient weapon, you know, so you'd have to be like doing epics. But I mean, you can save it, you know what I mean? Like, if you were in heroics, you could save it. You don't have to be in epics in order to build a sentient weapon, or unless you are like a brand new player and you haven't TR'd at all yet and you haven't yet hit epics, you know, then you wouldn't have access to it. But once you hit level 20, you can go to Ravenloft, and if you have access to that, and get Ascension Gem and Ascension Weapon there. Or if you bought Vecna, you can get Ascension Gem. Or if you do any like Saga in epics, you can usually, like as a prize, get Ascension Gem. So... just depends where you are, but I'm on Sarlona, so yeah, you're in Epic and you're working on level 19. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. Yeah, so if you're on Sarlona, then I can help you out, but if you're not, there's no cross server. I mean, people do cross server trade, so like I could say, hey, I want to cross server trade on Sarlona, I have this. If you're on, you know, Thelanis, for example, then people do that sort of thing. I think there's even a forum for it on DDO, but it's more of like a person run thing. Like, you know, I could give you like, the only really good example is if somebody needed, like if you're on Thelanis and I'm on Sarlona, I could give you 1,000,000 credits on Sarlona. Pardon me, I've been playing SWOTOR. I can give you 1,000,000 plat on Sarlona, you could give me 1,000,000 plat on Thelanis, you know, that kind of thing. People do that stuff all the time, but until they introduce like server meshing, which they certainly should, and I think there's a few games, like if anybody has ever looked into or played Star Citizen does this really cool server meshing where you never see what server you're on, and you can just jump around. Like if they did that for DDO and we could all play together no matter what like native server you were on, that would be phenomenal. Like I keep hoping that they invest and do like a server meshing technology. And basically all it does is it basically takes all the data. Like I could pull up a graph, but I won't. I'll just use my hand. So we've got all the different servers, right? So Solana, Thalanis, Scalanda, Argonessen, right? And then in between what you see in your on your computer at home is this buffer server, these where they basically take the data from all of them and they put them on these, you know, these meshed layers. And then they just jump back and forth, and they have all these other little AI programs running to coordinate all this data that's going back and forth. When really it's all these original servers and players are just interacting in this sort of mesh. So, I mean, talk about fixing something, right? Like, how about if they fix the banks? So when you open the bank and you click on an item in the bank, it actually worked. I've clicked this thing 1,000 times and nothing has happened. All right, maybe it'll work this time. Yes, it worked this time. I need to drink that. And then I need to drink that. You know, what's dumb is I'm going to end up wasting my stupid elixir of discovery because I'm going out there. How long do I have for XP? All right, we've got a couple hours left. I used the +5. I still have a +10 that I can use. But luckily, I don't really need anything. I was just doing it as a demonstration. Yeah, if anybody's on Solana and wants that XP gem, just send me a mail in-game to my main, Mary, and I will mail it to you. And don't be shy. If you need it, then I'm happy to send it. People send me Bigby's hands all the time. So, like, I usually collect them on hardcore, but people send them to me on Solana as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to buff, we're going to make ourselves invisible, and then we're going to get on our magic carpet. Actually, you know what? I was on the carpet. I'll get on the horse. I really like this horse. This is the Eladrin horse. And we'll ride to where they are. And we're just going to get a whole bunch of XP because they have a Grim Disturbance up. And Grim Disturbance, basically, if you don't kill the boss, if anybody doesn't know about it, as long as you don't kill the boss, all the mobs keep spawning on the portal. And it's basically endless. So you can just basically stay out here and farm until you get 7,000 kills and get a whole bunch of XP really quick. It's a really like efficient way to level up from like in the low 20s. So I'm level 24. Once I hit level 25, I can't really do it anymore, but it'll be a good amount of XP that'll get me to 25, which is great because like I'm trying to get to 30 to reincarnate, right, as fast as possible. So the only issue about getting out there, I'm invisible, so nothing's going to see me, but I'm not exactly sure the route where they are. So I'm going to take a second to just try to look and see if there's anything I can. All right. That looks like not quite sure where these people are. I bet he's going to use the shrine, right? So where is the actual fight? Is it here? We'll just try to get to them. He said, portal spawns are bugged, need someone to zone out. So I said, you want me to zone out? Someone already did. Okay. I didn't know that it could even bug like that. So. Yeah, I was saying this earlier too. Like, I really hope the giant forest around Myth-Draenor, I hope they give us something equivalent in size to the King's Forest, because like it's so big. Even though it came out like over a decade ago, I don't think I've ever really fully explored it. Like, it's just such a cool, gigantic zone, which is the complete opposite of like the Feywild, which it's tiny, so I've been all over it. Like, I've seen every part of it. I'm hoping that the ruins of Myth-Draenor is like legit, like gigantic. I think that would be super cool. And all they need to do is just repurpose something the size of the King's Forest, or the Stormhorns also is equally gigantic. All right, I'm gonna follow this dude. Is that dude real, or did I just see a hallucination? Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, Stormhorn. Stormhorn's, that is great. It's gigantic. Oh, is this it? Where's the portal? They got the portal covered. They said we should kill mobs. Am I taking crazy pills? No, that's how you do it. Grim is too slow. 2 or 3 to kill a portal. Everybody else runs around killing stuff. All right. All right. We'll run around and kill stuff when we're not phased out. Does killing squirrels count? I don't think so. Yeah, I've only ever done the Grim Portal, Grim Disturbance by, like, actually killing the zombies and the drows that come out of the portal. But it makes sense. It makes sense to run around and kill stuff. Just would make it go a little faster. Yeah, it is definitely easy money. I agree. And we've got a full party too, so there should be a ton of stuff spawning. I'm trying to, like, go into an area where I haven't seen anyone, but it looks like people already cleared out this side. Yeah, I just got 1,500. Yeah, okay, so I'm alone. Like, nobody's even near me, so I might as well just explore. See if I can find any mobs. Yeah, alright, somebody went to level. We're just going south as far as we can go. I don't think I've ever run all the way south in this map before. This map is freaking huge, man. Like, it is the biggest... God, I just got a wild search that said I'm feeling blue. Doesn't sound good. I would love if they had the light spell and the daylight spell like we had in Baldur's Gate. Like, I feel like I need a light spell right now. Like, why not, right? Because it's kind of dark. All right, this should be the end of the line right here, this river. Yeah, I can't go any farther than that, and there's nothing over there. Okay. But I haven't seen any monsters, unfortunately. Oh, there's some dire bears. That spell, the hitbox on that spell is just so dumb. You, like, have to aim it for them being right in front of you, because it just doesn't arc correctly. If it were softball, I would not be able to play softball. Alright, here's a shrine. Pretty cool. I don't see any snowflakes, though. Okay, I don't want to go down there. Yeah, let's stay up here. I mean, this is a real beautiful zone, right? Like, this... The lighting effects in the woods look really good. The way the sun went down on that water, and now it's really dark. It's really good. They did such a great job with this, considering how old it is. Yeah, that expansion, if any of you guys were around back then for Menace of the Underdark, it was like a huge game changer. Really well done. I don't think the frogs count, right? I'm only gonna stay to 3,000 kills. I don't think I have the 7,500 is a lot. I don't think the foxes count. We'll try. If this were Thunderholm, it would count because every kill in Thunderholm adds to the total. But out here, any creatures of nature don't, right? It's the same thing with the Stormhorns. I don't think you can kill like the deer. I think you can kill them and get meat, but doesn't it make the dryads angry? Like they start attacking you? I think so. Okay, we're gonna attack all those drow.
Fishing.
Oh, dire bear. We'll give dire bear. So this is what I was saying about that spell. Like, I can target him and then run away and still hit him with it. Even though, like you saw, the cloud was over him. I phased out, and when you phase out, the damage doesn't count. But, like, I don't have to be facing him in order to attack him with it. You can see I just did that running away from him. So that's that SLA from the Chaos Mancer. Spring Storm. It debuffs them to take lightning damage, even if they don't take it. And then it doesn't have a direction on it. It does have a range, though. It's not like you can be super far away to do it, but the fact that you don't have to worry about facing the target is really helpful, I think. Super useful. Yeah, 2.5 levels. Yeah, 25 is too high. Yeah, I do know that. So, or it's like the cutoff level is 25. So, I think if I go to 3K, I'll get really close to getting level 25, and then I can just run around and do something else. It depends, though. Like, I mean, it depends. If we get 3K, like, really soon, maybe I'll stay for 5K. Because we've technically only been out here, like 15 minutes, so. I don't think these deer will count. Oh, can we make the dryads angry out here is the question. If I beat up enough deer, will I get attacked? Oh, I see warriors up there. Oh, they should be right here. Yeah, they are. Getting really close to 3K. Not many mobs, though. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I couldn't even hit that. I have to be right next to the thing to hit it. Oh! 240,000 experience. Okay, we'll kill these. This isn't the thing, is it? No. My biggest fear is to accidentally kill the named, you know, I don't want to ruin it, right? Like, this looks like orcs. I'm assuming it's orcs, right? Or slavers, or drow slavers. So that leads to the Underdark, right? Used to be the only way to get to the Underdark, I think, was right there, yeah. I was really hoping they gave us a drow iconic. Like, really was hoping that. Finally. Oh, is that it? No, this is a different thing, right? I see people in front of me. This is like just a random encounter. This is not the... Okay. Yeah, I don't want to screw it up. I have 5 snowflakes, and there's 40 out here. So, there's a lot more that I could do out here. I don't think I've ever found all 40. Here's one. I mean, these guys are killing stuff so fast, I'm gonna get 5k. Why not? Right, we're here. We've only been here 20 minutes or whatever it is. Portal spawns are bugs. Okay, I can do that if nobody else does. I can't cast. Okay, it looks like somebody did. Oh, I proc... No, that was the drow thing. Okay, that was drow poison. I mean, that Master of Chaos actually makes the damage on that a lot better. That's really, really good. So I think I might... Usually I don't take that. Usually I go for Intensify, but considering that I don't have... That's the SLA. I have it maximized, empowered, and heightened, and it's hitting for like 3,000 to 4,000, but it's an AoE, so that's really good. I'll have to try it like when I do the next life. I won't take it. I'll take Intensify instead, and we'll see if the damage holds up at all. These look like I can just kill them all. Right? I mean, that's good. That's good damage. Oh, we failed to save the villager from the bandits. Oh well. Am I thinking about the right jungle? Is it this or the Stormhorns where the druids will get angry with you and like start attacking you for killing wildlife? I think it's the Stormhorns, but Epic Destiny, I'll show you. I went over this earlier, but I'll show you the build since I'm out here and we're waiting. So I have 19 points in Chaos Mancer to take advantage of that spell I was talking about. Spring gives me a boost on my charisma, and even though I'm not doing electric damage, it debuffs them to take electric damage. So it's 5 spell points, and I can do about 1,000 points. It's an AoE. I don't have to be facing them. It's really good. I also am using this phase step, even though I don't like the trigger. I have 4 right now because I used 1. But we're going charisma main stat, everything tier 5 here. We're doing the capstone entropy. And you can see I do not have anything to manage my chaos. So chaos control 1 and 2 I didn't take. I didn't take them over here. So I get the bad and the very bad. I also have this power and chaos and this unstable. So like I'm going to get like all the bad stuff that you can get. I've seen it so far. You can get CC'd, you can get like Otto's Irresistible Dance, you can get turned to stone, you can get polymorphed into a rat, you can get, it's like a lot of weird shit that can happen to you. But and then for here, I'll explain sort of what my thought process is. It might be sort of unconventional, but it works for me because I wanted to be immune to being knocked down, right, as a sorcerer, because I've been killed that way a lot. So I like to have a source of knockdown immunity. And so the only way I can really get it, I can get it here with Stand Against the Tide at level 26 because I'm holding a buckler, and that would qualify it. But I don't get access to that till I'm level 26. So to get knockdown immunity prior to that, I go into Serenity from Grandmaster Flowers, which gives me a stacking 15% action boost to my movement speed, makes me immune to take from falling damage, and it also gives me a knockdown immunity. We just happen to grab this Calm Before the Storm because I do run with spell resist, so, and that also gives me a no fail on my will saves, which is great. And then I'm running in Primal Avatar. I went over, like, I'm using Carrion Swarm because I did a lot of play testing on Epic Strikes, and even though Carrion Swarm was nerfed and is really only like a tenth of what it was back in the day, it's still, for my purpose, with my DC on it being 62, I'm able to make it hit enough that it's useful. They did not nerf Shardstorm, so Shardstorm is still S tier, and I'm taking advantage of that with the hit point boost from at its core. I'm also using Thrive, which helps me to conserve mana, although the Chaos Mantle is already really good at conserving mana. But I am preloading Evergreen because I will be using this mantle. I will be taking Shared Mantle, and I will be benefiting from the Evergreen procs to even make me save even more mana. We're getting our charisma boosted here. We're using Rejuvenation, Cocoon, and Renewal as our 2 hots that I basically just constantly keep on myself, so I don't have to worry about my hit points. And because my mana management is so good, I'm just, you know, like, I'm not really worried about it. We're getting light boosted damage from here, from our heart. It does fire, light, alignment, even though they, in the last update, they changed, let me see if I can show you guys this. They changed, so it used to be light damage and alignment damage were all the same. But they made it so that now you can see in this list, Chaos, Lawful, Light, they're all different now. So I'm not exactly sure if Heart is going to boost that. I have a feeling it's not, because now it's a separate thing, so my light and my chaos are different scores now. The only Epic Destiny tree that boosts chaos magic is Shirati Champion. So that's the tree that they want you in. And I did do that at level 20, but I changed to Primal because the Epic Strike for Shirati, and Shirati just sucks for a spellcaster. It's really good if you're ranged, but if you're a spellcaster, there's not a lot in there for you. And the SLA Epic Strike is really lame. Like, I've said this before, it's got the same hitbox as Color Spray, like that. But instead of being these light beams, it's like a sprayed mist. It just doesn't hit well. It's kind of gross. So, Draconic, obviously, on a Sorc, I want to be. And Exalted Angel, I will probably use Exalted Angel once I can get access to the wings at level 26. So I will change probably to that. And then you can get light damage Exalted Angel, but there's no draconic damage boost for me. I would have to basically like pick like an energy burst or something like that, for like acid or cold or whatever. Because there's no like gold dragon that does lawful. There's no silver dragon that does chaos. There's no platinum dragon that does, you know, light damage, which they should totally add. Yeah, electric you can do, sure. But it's one of the standard elementals to use draconic. So I was just like, there's no, you know, like there's no draw for me to be over there. So I figured, well, I'm going to try to use a lot of the stuff out of Primal anyway, because I like having Rejuvenation Cocoon. So that's just where I landed. And having knockdown immunity, while it's something I like, a lot of people probably would skip it or ignore it or just, you know, like focus on making themselves more, doing more DPS and less defensive. But because epics don't really last that long, they go so fast. I know it wouldn't be that long, and I don't mind. I like the extra speed. I think it's great, and I don't like being knocked down. So yeah, fire's good. Exalted Epic Strike. Yeah, so you're using the Epic Strike. You're using the pillar out of the Exalted Angel, the fire pillar. Yeah, I mean, that's a solid Epic Strike. It's really good. I decided not to use that because with my DCs being so high here, Carrion Swarm, you know, it does an AoE. So, like, I can hit a group. Like, and even though they were only, you know, like squirrels, right? I mean, it's still, I can get 2 for the price of 1. So even though it's only 2 mana, I do like the Exalted Angel SLAs, but for right now, this is what I'm using. I'll probably switch it later. We'll see. Depends on how high I keep my SLA DCs. If I can get this DC to like 110, then it probably still would be viable. I think maybe 115 or something like that. I'm not sure I can get it that high though. We'll have to try. But honestly, I'm not going to stay for that long. I'm just going to probably reincarnate. Right? I'm probably not going to play level 31 and 32. I'm probably just going to reincarnate at level 30. So. Yeah, single target. I try to do like AoE if I can. Oh, while I was talking to you guys, I hit 5,000. Didn't even realize that. I hit 5,000 and got the XP for it. Yeah, so that's the build. It changes a little bit. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend anybody to do what I'm doing. It's just how I like to play. I make it work, but I mean, you know, like I said, I'm sacrificing some of my DPS in order to get survivability just because I personally don't like being knocked down, but I don't think I'm sacrificing that much DPS. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm losing out. My DPS is still solid enough that I went in and did that giant hold quest. I'm level 24. I did that as level what 26 on Reaper, and we had no problem. The DPS we were doing was enough to obliterate everything. So completely viable doing this, even though I'm in a melee Destiny mantle. You know, no problem. And we took the feat. I've never used this feat before, but I wanted to try it out. This Master of Chaos, where our Chaos Bolts, Chaos Sphere, Wild Strike is +10 to the caster levels. We're not really using our Bolt or our Wild Strike anymore because they're single target, but I'm using this Chaos Sphere all the time. And the damage on it's really good now. You know, is it the best spell ever? No. You can see it falls short, but I just got the irresistible dance. You can see it's quite a long dance too. Like, that's not a short irresistible dance. Like, so if you were in a, you know, situation where you were getting chased by like a Vengeance Reaper, that would be a bad time if you got that. irresistible dance on yourself. So I mean, we've already been out here through like a night cycle. Now we're in the day. I wonder if is there a rain cycle out here too? Does it ever rain out here? That would be really cool if it did. Yeah, in this ability here, the Shard Storm, they did not nerf that for 20 spell points. It still is really good. So it's like my go-to, you know, and I've got what, 1300, and when I use that, my hit points go up to 1700. So I'm like, it greatly increases my survivability. And if I add to that my rejuvenation cocoon, I can get close to 2000 hit points. So we're gonna have, you know, plenty of hit points. And since that as a sorcerer, that's really good because I'm like a, you know, like a pure spellcaster, not stacking con at all. Like it's just so. Oh, I think they might be done, or they might be finishing up, which is unfortunate because I'm close to 6,000. Okay, somebody's saying he's maxed out. I think that they're done. To be honest, I'm completely fine with that. Like I'm fine with I'm just grab these snowflakes and then continue running around until they tell me that they're done, and then yeah, okay, who's taking over? So they're getting ready. Some people are getting ready to leave. I'm just gonna leave. Just gonna tell them thank you very much. Yeah, so they've been doing this a lot farther like along than me. So they've all hit 7,500 and I'm only at 61. So that's cool, but we managed to grab a level. That's great. We'll actually go take that right now. We're gonna see what we're offered at level 25. Anything good? Yes. Crush weakness. What do you guys think? I think we should probably take that, but let's see what else we got. Elusive target's always great, but the problem with elusive target is it doesn't proc any sort of like a, you can't see it procking. Like if they had like a thing where I could actually see it procking, it would make me feel better to know that it's actually working. I'm sure it does work, but right now there's no way to tell if it's working. But I usually do like it on characters when I'm like doing like solo R8s, that kind of stuff. Usually I'll take it because I think it does help a little bit mitigate like the BS hits. But I also really like First Blood. I like to use First Blood on a caster and go into Shadow Dancer and take the ability in there that makes that happen. It basically activates First Blood on your spell casts. So that's something to consider, but I wouldn't be able to use it yet because I'm not yet in Shadow Dancer. And then it really doesn't look like anything else. So I'm thinking, unless I wanted to boost some spell power, which I don't see like a chaos. I took light already, which light is light and alignment. I don't see a chaos boost, so I'm not really going to worry about that. There's no reason for, I'm not stacking armor class. There's no reason for me to use that. I've already talked about that. There's no reason to take those. So it's probably the best thing I can take here, since I am color spraying things all the time and CCing stuff. They're considered helpless, so I would do more damage, and so that would just help us just kill stuff a lot faster. So that's always good. Usually I take Crush Weakness. I usually build for it, just because I do a lot of CCs. Like I used it on my Dragon Lord, and I did a charisma-based Dragon Lord, if you guys didn't know. Like, so like I was color spraying things and doing the roar. So it was really good. Really great CC. All right, that's a rare scroll, so we're gonna save that. And then rare filigrees. Okay. And let me see if I have any 25 gear. Yeah, the Fade Arc tree, I use it all the time. I use it all the time because there's a lot of utility built into it that, so you could make an argument, right? Like that falconry probably would be, so here's the thing. If I were in like a group, like a static group, and I was the DPS, I probably would be in falconry because my job would be to be like a literal glass cannon. I wouldn't be, I would be built completely different. I wouldn't worry about not being knocked down because there would be a cleric who could heal me if I were knocked down, right? I would be completely blasting. I would be all in on DPS, and then over here I'd probably be falconry and I'd be running no mercy. And that's where all my stuff would be. So I would just be CCing and trying to murder stuff that way. That's probably what I would do. But I'm soloing. I'm not in a raid group. I don't have like a dedicated healer. I don't have a tank, right? The tank isn't like taunting and allowing me to nuke. So it's just me. So like I use Fade Arc because this is a great SLA coupled with this Prismatic Mind. Well, now my color spray is doing damage, right? And I can also pick up more saving throws and immunity to fear, which is awesome because that keeps me from getting like, if for some reason I forget to put Death Ward on, or if I weren't wearing Death Block. This is good to know for hardcore. Being immune to fear will keep you from being killed by fear death effects. So something like a Phantasmal Killer. If you're immune to fear, like right out of the box, tieflings are immune to fear. You can never PK a tiefling. So that's a huge advantage in something like the hardcore league. So I usually try to grab this sort of stuff out of Fade Arc. It also adds to my defenses. Like here I've got my blur, even though 20% concealment isn't a lot, even though I'm wearing, now I have like the silver sigil glove. So technically I don't need this anymore because the silver sigil's better. But in heroics, this helped me a lot. This is my magic missile immunity. I don't have to worry about like a shield item. I don't have to worry about carrying shield wands because I'm just immune to magic missile. I don't have to worry about them. That's good. This here gives me missile snaring, and also if I cast invisibility, right, it also can make it so that if I'm missed or hit, I can go invisible, right? That's helpful. Soloing. This is just basically a damage boost. This is a trap finding skill, which is very helpful. We saw that earlier when I was doing those quests with all the spell wards. And then I get my main stat, which I couldn't really get over here, right? Like there's no way I could get like charisma here, but I get more charisma out of this tree. And just the ability to find traps, have better saves, be immune to magic missiles. I also get charisma to hit and damage from these two, Familiar Flourish 1 and 2, which since I am all in on charisma anyway, like now if I swing my sword, which I'm using the Epic Ornamental Dagger, that item is a +6, but with that I have to hit and damage. So there's that. So super helpful for this. So, I would change it if I were in like a static group and go into falconry and grab that No Mercy, but I don't need to do that just being solo. Somebody could probably make an argument too that maybe being like in one of these other trees and boosting some of this damage, I could probably get it a little bit more DPS there. Or like I did mess around with a little bit of Horizon Walker because Horizon Walker has some good abilities for defensives, and then you can mark targets. That's really helpful for like champions, like bosses, right? But again, for me as a solo character, I get the most bang out of Fade Arc. And then also I get this free and large. I get a boost on my illusion DCs. Like and I also get like a boost on universal spell power. So as a caster, it's good. This channeled entropy capstone is awesome. So I definitely recommend taking it if you're doing Chaos Wild Magic. It's really good. I'm not super sold on this entire top tier here, though. Like, it's okay. It's good, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is like, okay, here's if I have no armor, I get a better MRR cap. Well, I just happen to be wearing a robe, but I don't know if that counts as no armor. I think it counts as no armor, but Wild Strike is a great SLA. This is good. This bend luck, this makes it so that I can reroll a saving throw, and my saving throws are all over 50, so that's like really good. So I feel like I'm in like a good spot to not get accidentally killed by something stupid. We look at the defenses, you can see like incorporeal and concealment. That's from the silver sigil gloves. Dodge, I want to get that as high as I can get it. That's pretty good. And effective hit points is like significantly more. If I displace myself, that goes way up 6,000. So that's good. Like if I were doing R4, I mean that's really good. I would feel really like safe running around R4s. I could probably even do some R6s. Will I try later? Maybe. If you guys wanted to see that, I probably would. But likely the plan is like I'll hit level 30 and then I'll reincarnate. But I could try doing some of the giant hold on R4 the next time I stream. We did one tonight on R1 and it was a cakewalk and I was under leveled. So going in there at level, I could probably handle R4. I could probably even try one on R6 just to see how good the spells hold up. I think that the damage is going to scale fine in High Skull Reapers, but I don't know for sure. We'll have to try it out. Mass Hold Monster. Yeah, you know, I love that spell, and I usually build myself into an enchanter, and I do have it. It's right there. I just haven't put it on the bar. I will be using it, though. To be honest, I've been so, like, focused on trying the chaos magic stuff that I just forgot. Like, I do have it. It's right there. I just need to, like, basically put it on the bar so I can actually start casting it. But I will. That'll make it even easier. Dude, that'll make it so that like R4, R6, we'll definitely try it. Like the only thing that I have to worry about in the R6 is getting a bad wild magic surge if like a Vengeance Reaper was there, right? Like if I got CC'd by that auto stance or something stupid. Yeah, I mean, I love it. Usually my main build is a Warlock Enchanter. So I'm like constantly spamming Mass Hold Monster, just constantly. And then I just burn them down with my Eldritch Blasts. Like that's what I normally play. And then for extra DPS, I throw Arcane Tempest out. I just took these spells. Technically, I probably won't. Now that I know that the wild magic stuff is so good, I could probably swap one of these out for Mordenkainen's since I'm using like just greater dispel magic. I could probably grab Mordenkainen's Disjunction for like spell wards. I was completely underwhelmed with Chaos Hammer. It works really well if you're on a cleric where you can force the mobs to take the damage, but I just didn't think it was like 500 damage. It wasn't really that much, so I wasn't very impressed. So I don't think I would take that again, but I do have it if I want to experiment with it. Way better spell is Prismatic Ray. I did take a normal color spray along with the SLA that I have, and then probably the best spell that I have just to get rid of stuff is Prismatic Spray. But you can see I did take this auto stancing, I did take Globe Invulnerability, I did take Delayed Blast Fireball, I took Auto's Irresistible Dance. Like I have all that stuff. Yeah, Meteor Swarm used to be my go-to, but I do like the bludgeon that it does, but I miss the old days when it used to just like completely obliterate stuff. And so it's the same as Carrion Swarm. Like it makes me, I'm happy to cast it, but it makes me nostalgic for when they used to be really overpowered. in low-level heroics, Snowball Swarm was hitting really well. I don't think I would need to keep that now. I could probably swap that out for something else. I could probably swap out Resist Energy for something else too, because I'm running with that. When I log in, I get the VIP spell swap, so I might actually swap some of these around. I thought taking Tumble would actually make it so that I get another charge on my bar, which I think it should if you take the spell, but it doesn't, at least not yet. So, and I don't really need to keep this Chaos Bolt because I have the SLA. It's really good. That one hits good too, though. It's a really good level 1 spell. So I highly recommend that. Just all this other stuff is just utility. And I took Sunburst just in case I want to make some shadows like insta-die. Yeah, but so far it's been a lot of fun. I'm really happy though. We read what the past life feats are. It's all universal spell power. So the iconic Chaosmancer gives you universal spell power for the past life, and then the Wild Mage Sorcerer gives you universal for the past life. So with all of them, with all 6 of those past lives, you should get like 18 universal spell power. That's really good because that'll just add into all the power I already have. You know, so that's great. That'll help out when I'm a warlock. I'll get that. What I'm probably going to do is make an Eladrin Chaosmancer warlock, but I'll do it on one of my alts. I'm not going to do it on this main. Yeah, you know, the expansion hirelings, I was in heroics because I made this iconic character at level 15. I was able to use this Eladrin level 14, and I loved it. I thought it was great. They heal you, they spam heal you, they do range damage. The only problem that I had with it was that because it does range damage, sometimes when I was running through a quest, it would stop because it can sense monsters that you can't see yet, like above you through walls, and it would be like shooting at a wall trying to get to a monster and not moving. So I would have to like call it to me, call the NPC to me, because otherwise you would just be standing there shooting at a wall. But when it's near me and when it's actually like actively casting spells, it's really good. It does greater vigor, and I think it also does a regenerate. And then also Darling is a really good trapper if you get the Vecna expansion level 18. Super useful. I do use my NPCs a lot. I don't usually use them on channel when I'm streaming though, because like I want to sort of demonstrate to you guys like you know, how I would do it without any hirelings or do it completely alone or something like that. But when I just play by myself, usually I do use the hirelings if I have them. And since I have all of the expansion hirelings, you know, like I'll use Froggo, the level 3 Froggo. I'll like use Froggo a lot to open doors and stuff. And super great. Like if you don't have a level 3 Froggo, I highly recommend it. I think all those packs, aren't they on sale? I don't know if you can still get Froggo, but if you can, it's certainly worth having a level 3 Froggo because I use him all the time. Probably the one I use the least is the Scarecrow. It's good though, because it's a construct. You can't really, you know, you can't really mess it up. But the Feywild Bard is really good. I use that one a lot. And then this new one I like a lot too. Like I was really happy they gave us a ranged character. So super good. I think it's one of those things. I haven't tried the level 34 version yet though, but that's just because like as soon as the expansion came out, like the pre-purchase for the DLC, I bought it and then I TR'd instantly because I knew that I wanted to make my main into a Chaosmancer.
Where are you going? Hunting for gold that is flowing. Somewhere in the cold world, here there is no knowing. Hey la, oh la la la. We love if there's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. There's a standing stone. Let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la. We love games. Where are you going? There's no knowing what magic awaits, what evil is growing. Hey la, oh la la, we love games. There's a standing stone, let's make camp. We love games. Oh la la, hunting old crypts is folly. Just play games and be jolly. Magical treasures hide in the dark, so rest in it and embark. We love games. There's a standing stone, let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. There's a standing stone, let's make camp. We love games. Let's make camp and play more games. Hey la, oh la la, we love games. Hey la, Mary la, oh la 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 la, oh la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey la, oh la.